Some of the world's biggest watch scams happen on the platforms you trust most, and I've watched collectors lose 5 figures in a single click. If you're buying or selling luxury watches in 2025, the wrong platform could cost you thousands, or worse, your entire collection. I've traded over 1,000 watches across eBay, Chrono24, Facebook, Instagram, Reddit, and many more. I'm not reading you platform brochures. I'm giving you the reality of how these marketplaces work from the inside. The fees, the scams, the hidden advantages. From someone who lives and breathes this business every single day. Let's start with eBay. One of my favorite places to buy and sell watches for years. If you follow their rules, stay within their selling parameters, and especially if you're working with watches over $2,000, you really don't have much to worry about. The biggest headache is returns. I mean, they happen. Sometimes they're legit and sometimes they're just ridiculous. I'll cover some of those stories separately. One of the reasons I love eBay is how easy it is to list or relist a watch once you've done it a few times. The process is identical whether you're on a dealer account or a personal account. The pricing is straightforward. No brand-based or tier-based fees like Chrono24. It's 15% on the first $1,000, 6.5% on 1,001 to 7,500, and 3% above that. You know exactly what you're paying before you list. Then there's the authenticity guarantee with authentication performed by Stolen Co. in Ohio. I have mixed feelings about it. If your watch gets flagged, there is no direct communication with the buyer. Sometimes the flag is over something microscopic, a mark under 10 times magnification you'd never see with the naked eye, or even a dented corner on the cardboard box. eBay slaps a red flag on the order and buyers almost always back out, assuming the worst. I've lost 3 deals that way. Every return I've had from eBay came from a failed authentication, but none for being called inauthentic. All of those watches were in one weird 3-week stretch where their authentication center just wanted to flag everything. And outside of that, no issues. Customer service has been solid. Once you learn their system, it's simple. Go to online chat, request a call, and I usually get one in under 5 minutes. And they protected me in major scam attempts. I sold a Tudor Black Bay chronograph for $5,000. The buyer kept it for weeks and tried to return it claiming it wasn't as described, and sent bogus photos. I told eBay if it comes back to check and make sure it's in the same condition. Of course, they agreed. He kept delaying, then filed a credit card fraud claim with his bank. eBay immediately closed the case. Financial disputes go through the bank. eBay doesn't worry about it. Not their problem anymore. They refunded me $5,000 the next day, and 2 days later, the Tudor showed back up at my door from authentication. I called to confirm, and eBay said I was 100% in the clear. I kept both the watch and the money because his scam backfired. Negotiations on eBay can be painful. You'll get lowball offers all day, especially from other dealers stocking inventory. And if you're new, remember, whatever the watch sells for is not what you take home. Fees take their cut. For me, eBay is also a marketing tool. If someone sees my listings and reaches out off platform, great. If they buy on eBay, I don't mind either. They make the process easy. They allow videos and listings and are pushing live selling, which I think is the future. I really do. One important note, anything under $2,000 does not go through authentication. Anything over does. If you're buying on eBay, the authenticity guarantee is your safety net. Over $2,000, it goes to authentication within about 2 business days, then ships to you via 2-day shipping. So from payment to delivery, you're looking at 4 to 5 days if the seller ships quickly. If it's marked final sale and passes authentication, the deal's done. If returns are allowed, the watch is re-authenticated before your refund to ensure it's the same piece. Don't negotiate under $2,000 just to save a couple $100. You're removing your only safeguard. I've seen Rolexes listed under that line, and 9 times out of 10, there's a reason they're that cheap. The deal's too good to be true? Yeah. I've been on Chrono24 for a few years now, and I'll start by saying this. I actually like them. I like having my inventory there. I like the credibility it adds. And I have a great relationship with my rep. The team I've met in person at their office has been nothing but professional, passionate, and welcoming. That core group of people is the reason I still believe in Chrono's future, and I'll absolutely keep visiting and working with them. But as a platform, I'm frustrated. Chrono24 has been around since 2003, which means they've had over 20 years to refine the luxury watch buying and selling experience. With that kind of head start, you'd think they'd be leading innovation. Instead, they feel like they're riding the early internet wave of being the luxury watch marketplace. And in a world where platforms can be built, iterated, and scaled overnight, buyers and sellers will gravitate to whatever works best, period. Dealers' fees are tiered, brand region dependent, and billed in euros. As an American dealer, a USD-based system would make a real difference. Their professional package pricing is up to 25 watches is 199 euros a month. Up to 50 watches is 369 euros a month. Up to 1,000 watches is 2,199 euros a month. Anything over that is negotiated. Problem is, once you get into higher volumes, the incremental value barely changes while the costs keep climbing. At that point, having that many listings become less about selling each watch and more about boosting SEO and marketability. It's the same strategy we're seeing everywhere right now. Flood the space with listings and use it as a funnel. Payout is slower than eBay. Standard is about 7 days after delivery. For private sellers, it's about 2 weeks. I've negotiated mine down to 3 days, and I know top dealers who get paid in 24 hours, but it shouldn't take years of relationship building to get there. You use an escrow system. Buyer pays, chrono holds. You ship, buyer accepts, you get paid. Buyers like it for the security. Sellers see it as a cash flow tied up. I've shipped chrono sales to Mexico, Switzerland, Sweden, Saudi Arabia, the UAE, Canada, and even Guam. International reach is a big strength. For returns, forget it. Customs headaches going in become customs nightmares coming back. It's double the work, double the cost, no one wins. Authentication is optional, not universal, and because anyone can list, the policing of fake or misrepresented watches is inconsistent. Some dealers run solid shop, others drop ship or list watches they don't own, sourcing only after you, the buyer, pays. Chrono tried to fix things by tightening dealer requirements, minimum of 50 listings to get in, but all that did was push dealers to find workarounds while still flooding the platform with bad inventory. The result is a marketplace polluted with shell listings and flat out trash. Buyers are confused. I've had clients call me to ask if the watches listed on my own website, theartoftime.com, are actually in stock because they've been burned by chrono sellers before. And here's where Chronopulse and their valuation tools come in. These tools pull their pricing directly from Chrono's own listing. If the listings are polluted with fake or phantom watches, so is the data. That means if you're valuing your collection off Chrono's estimates, it's probably too high and almost certainly wrong. And I've had to walk enough clients through that reality more times than I can count. Promotions are another sore spot. Chrono's paid promotions drain like a battery. Every view eats into your credits. And if the listing ends early, the unused credit vanishes. On eBay, you only pay for promotion if the item sells. On Chrono, you pay whether it sells or not. Bottom line, for buyers, Chrono is a great place to see what's out there globally. Just be aware prices are often padded for fees and international shipping. For sellers, it's a credibility tool and a way to reach the world. It's also slower to pay, more expensive to operate, far more polluted with bad listings than you would like to believe. And if you see my inventory there, just look me up on Google and we'll do business direct. It'll save us both time and money. If you're getting value out of this, make sure you hit subscribe. I break down the watch world like this every week, so you're always ahead of the market. Facebook sits in a weird middle ground between wholesale and retail. Websites like eBay and Chrono24 are pure retail. Wholesale is dealer to dealer, bottom pricing, high liquidity, low margins. Facebook groups blur this line. Groups like Moda, Bay Watch Club, Watch Association of Traders, and even Watch Trading Academy's buy-sell trade marketplace are a mix of both. You can usually tell what you're looking at. Crisp photos, detailed descriptions, and polished formatting, usually indicative of retail pricing. Quick hand shots with minimal detail often signal wholesale or just someone trying a piece they took in on trade. Dealer chats tied to these groups are where you'll find the sharpest prices, but also the most redundancy. The same watches posted across multiple chats by the same dealers. I've joined plenty over the years, but now I'm selective. I learned the hard way that paying for access too early is just wasted money. If you can't fully capitalize on it, then sit out until you can. Deals here can close instantly, literally within minutes if the pricing is right. Wholesale buyers are stocking inventory, not shopping for emotion, so competitive pricing moves fast. But misrepresentation is all too common. Watches are overhyped, damage is underplayed, and sometimes you only find out after the watch is shipped to your client because, unfortunately, it happens. That's how deals unwind and reputations get wrecked. I've even seen big-name dealers get burned. Just one 2 weeks ago who shipped a $125K Richard Mille to what turned out to be a known Instagram scammer. He didn't check the history until it was too late. Marketplace is the worst. It's plagued with scams and copyright crackdown. You can't risk Rolex, it has to be RLX. Omega becomes OMG. Logos and photos often have to be blurred. Between that and the flood of shady listings, I avoid it completely. If you insist on using Marketplace or groups for in-person deals, security is non-negotiable. Meet at police stations, inside banks, or other secure locations. Always verify ID before meeting, and don't try to squeeze the best possible deal only to get scammed. In this business, you're not just buying the watch, you're buying the dealer. Instagram X and LinkedIn aren't marketplaces, places, but shop windows. People see my post, get to know my style, and reach out directly. From there, the deal is in our hands. One of my best clients, a doctor who's been featured on the Discovery Channel, found me this way. He saw a post, reached out, and now sends me repeat business. I put my face and voice out there because it builds trust. If someone hides behind a logo and won't hop on a FaceTime, that's a red flag. These social media platforms are a long game and take time and effort to build trust. It's not where you should expect instant sale. But as a retail buyer, you can find some of the best dealers on these platforms marketing themselves, and you should not hesitate to reach out. Reddit is the only place I've personally been scammed, and that experience taught me exactly why I no longer deal there. I agreed to trade my $4,000 watch plus $1,000 via Venmo for his $5,000 watch. He provided a driver's license. We spoke on the phone, and the listing looked clean. I shipped my watch, then saw his tracking was not moving. I got a bad feeling, called FedEx, and rerouted it before it was delivered, but I never got my $1,000 back. His ID was fake. Months later, I got a DM on Instagram from somebody saying, "Hey, just want to confirm we're still good on the Reddit deal." I hadn't been active there in months. Turns out the scammer was using my stolen ID to run scams on other watch people. They thought they were talking to me. That's the danger of Reddit, the anonymity. Even if you've done a deal with somebody before, you can't guarantee it's the same person behind the username the next time. References can be faked, IDs can be stolen. And once your info is out there, it can be weaponized against you. And I put forums like WatchUseek, Rolex forums, and other legacy boards in the same bucket. They're outdated, they've got insane barriers to entry, and their relevance to the modern luxury watch market is fading fast. They're more enthusiast hangouts than serious deal flow hubs. If you're active there, odds are you're a certain demographic, a certain age bracket, and you're collecting started with what was hot in the 90s. They have their niche, but their value to serious trading is a dying breed. Every one of these stories, Chrono shell listings, eBay's red flag issues, Facebook scams, Reddit's anonymity, comes back to one problem: trust. So I'm building my own, a private invite-only community of verified dealers and collectors. No avatars, no fake names. Every member vetted and backed by an internal protection system. It's not about being the biggest, it's about being the most trusted. And if you're tired of playing games with strangers online, this is where you'll want to be. And if you want to buy your first or next timepiece, check out the link in the description. And don't hesitate to text or call me on this number. I'm Christian Bruhn. This is The Art of Time. Let's build something great.